Hi, everyone. Kathy Rose here. I'm going to talk to you about March 2023. We have a whole lot going on this month. We have two major planets changing signs. We have a very powerful full moon, a super potent new moon. I'm looking forward to telling you all about it. We begin with the sun in Pisces. So you see the Pisces mandala on screen, and that highlights the abstraction, the spiritual flow, the intuition. It is in the air. All right. So if I were to try to summarize and come up with a theme for March, I would say that we get the opportunity to learn how to manifest grace under pressure. And so I created this image on screen, which is a pressure gauge in the red zone with steam coming out of it. So you feel this impending release of pressure that wants to take place. But as that steam forms, it moves into the patterns of this mandala on screen. Of course, that's one of the mandalas I created years ago. And I thought that that was a really cool way to look at this, that we are experiencing spiritual pressure right now. There is a lot of pressure in the air trying to get us to rise up to a higher level in terms of consciousness, in terms of our connection with other people, in terms of moving it to the higher level. We're feeling it. It's in the air. It's bombarding us. And while we are under this pressure, can we manifest grace? That's what's important. That's our challenge for this month. And of course, we can do it. We just have to choose it. We just have to work on it and practice. So there are a couple of aspects happening in early part of the month that are important that play into this manifesting grace under pressure. On March 2nd, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter and Mercury conjunct Saturn. What's important about that Mercury-Saturn aspect is that Saturn is at the 29th degree of Aquarius, getting ready to move into Pisces, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. The 29th degree for an outer planet creates that pressure I'm talking about. It's called the anaretic degree, and it intensifies whatever we are supposed to learn in that sign. So Saturn leaving Aquarius and then Pluto getting ready to enter Aquarius. This is a beautiful planetary dance talking about how we manage to move humanity forward. Let me just say this, though, the Venus conjunct Jupiter conjunction that takes place March 2nd with this Mercury conjunction, there is the energy percolating with this that says, if you can relax, if you can trust yourself, if you can merge and reach out with the universe, it is quite likely you will find yourself in the early part of March being exactly at the right place at the right time, bumping into the people you need to for your highest good to help advance all of your plans, and even coming up with a new breakthrough idea. So watch for that. This early part of March offers you a lot. And then, of course, we move right into the full moon on March 7th. So on the left side of the screen, you're going to see the chart. The sun is opposite the moon in Virgo for this full moon, and that is square to Mars in Gemini. That's really strong and important to discuss. But before we get there, let me explain the image on the right side of the screen, which is, I call it the full moon mermaid. This is an original painting done by my friend Liza, my art partner. We do so much together. I did help a little bit with this piece, but she's really the master of mermaids without a doubt. And she's holding this pearl and she's looking up at the new moon, the full moon, excuse me. And it's so symbolic. So let me explain this full moon in Virgo. Virgo on the shadow level. And because this full moon has tension, the tension is from Mars and Gemini, and the tension is because of the anaretic planets. You see on the screen on the left here that Pluto is at 29 Capricorn during this full moon, and Saturn is still 29 Aquarius, 59 minutes. So this full moon is exact right before Saturn leaves Aquarius and enters Pisces. So the shadow side that we need to be aware of would be worry, fear, the critical nature, looking for what's wrong instead of looking for what's right, over-analysis, the busy mind, asking why, and getting so busy with the analysis and the thinking that you miss the main message that's right in front of you. So if you were to blend this full moon into the higher level, it would be stepping into the Virgo beautiful energy of service and humility and just getting the work done. And the most beautiful part of Mars and Gemini, which is wit and a special energy for communicating delightful, sort of happy messages with others, the ability to make conversation wherever you go. It's going to be important to breathe during this full moon, and it's going to be important to add a little bit of trust and faith and connection with the universe into your day, because there is some challenge during this time, but you don't have to manifest it. So instead, be this beautiful mermaid that's on the right and peacefully sit contemplating life and just gazing and musing. All right. So right after that full moon, we have Saturn leaving Aquarius, entering Pisces on that same day as the full moon, March 7th. And what happens here is Saturn ends the 2.5-year transit through Aquarius and spends 2.5 years in Pisces instead. And it's going to try to help stabilize what Neptune in Pisces has been trying to bring about. Neptune in Pisces has triggered great awareness of compassion and empathy with those who have been marginalized or picked on or bullied. Neptune in Pisces is trying to increase our sensitivity and our lovingness for each other. Sometimes it goes a little too far. I have many clients whose empathy has opened so much that they have a hard time going through life now because they're feeling everything. Saturn entering Pisces is going to try to stabilize that and help you to be a superpower with your sensitivity and your intuition and your empathy and the practical part of you to go through life productively. We need to remember that Neptune is going to trigger what's called the anaretic degree. That's the 29th degree. I referred to it with Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn in Aquarius. Neptune will trigger that anaretic degree in 2024 and 2025. So this year in 23, while Saturn enters Pisces, we get to practice how to be empathetic, how to be compassionate, and how to be practical. We get to learn when to offer help to somebody and when help comes in the form of believing that the other person can do it themselves. We get to learn all that wisdom, and that does take wisdom, right? Because we all want to jump in and help. That's human nature, especially for spiritual people. The image that's on the screen is a mandala I created just conveying balance on the body, mind, spirit level. And particularly with Saturn in Pisces, balance between the spiritual, idealistic part and the practical part that needs to learn how to manage life. All right, then next, we have a super amazing new moon coming up on March 21st. It is going to be a 0 Aries, the day of the equinox. And I'm not going to show you the chart yet because I'm going to do a separate video on this new moon. But it triggers what's called the Aries point. The Aries point is activated when a planet hits 0 degree of any of the cardinal signs, and Aries is a cardinal sign. And what happens when the Aries point is triggered is it's high visibility. It's potent public projection. When the Aries point is triggered, it helps us to stand out if we want to stand out. Now, what's important about this new moon is good behavior will stand out and you can shine. But if you're doing anything scandalous, not that anybody listening to this video would be doing anything scandalous, but those people in the world who might, or deceptive, or lack of integrity, they will stand out. This new moon is going to bring a lot into public view. That's why I'm going to do a separate video on it. The bottom line, that new moon, be very clear about your integrity and your ethics, your principles, your sense of accountability. Be very clear. But, you know, of course, people who listen to this video probably are doing that anyway. Tell the truth, keep your word, make it top of your consciousness, because that Aries point new moon on March 21st is going to shine a light on the people who do that. Then March 23rd, Pluto enters Aquarius. And this is so strong. It's only going to be in Aquarius for about 2.5 months, and then it's going to retrograde back and go into Capricorn at that anaretic degree again, the 29th degree of Capricorn. And so we're still going through a transition time this year with Pluto tiptoeing into Aquarius and backing into Capricorn, and then it's going to continue to do so in 24. So it takes a while before it fully enters and manifests in Aquarius. But a lot of the hierarchical power systems are going through a change. As Pluto tries to finish up this transit in Capricorn, there is pressure to get power structures operating at a higher level. And as Pluto enters Aquarius, it is more of the humanistic energy that wants to come in, the connection between people, rather than saying, hey, I have more money than you, so I must be more important. It is saying we're all human and we're all connected. And it doesn't matter who has the most money or the most power or the bigger house or who has more degrees. We're all human. We're all connected. That humanistic energy is going to be in the air. So watch for this. When Pluto enters Aquarius, that pressure I told you about, manifesting grace under pressure, there may be just a little moment where you go, whew, some of that pressure was just released. So much activity in March. My final thoughts would be for you to remember that integrity reveals beauty. And if you act from spiritual integrity this month, I know you're always doing that anyway, but really bring it to the front of your consciousness. Operate invisibly with integrity, with nobody watching you. Do the right thing, and do it with wisdom. The mandala that's on the left side of the screen is one of the favorite mandalas I have ever created, and one of my favorite people purchased it. She's probably watching it right now. But I think the reason I like that mandala so much is I love working with black and white, the duality that offers, but it also had such a high level of angelic energy in it. Integrity reveals beauty, manifesting grace under pressure. That is our challenge for this month. As we feel Saturn entering Pisces, Pluto entering Aquarius, new moon at the Aries point. Very, very powerful and interesting moment we have in time here in March. So, as always, I'm blessing you. I'm sending you so much love. Keep doing the good work you're doing in the world, because you get to stand out this month. All right, bye for now, and I'll see you at the new moon in Aries.